Disclaimer, the video you're about to watch is extremely long. It is the process I took building my Jeep Cherokee that I am now driving as an everyday driver. So be forewarned. How's it going, YouTube? Boot Hill Kid here. I'm working on the Jeeps. Don't have my tripod as usual, but this is the 97. I forgot I haven't uploaded my other video yet. So this is the 97 Jeep Cherokee Country 4-wheel drive. Sanded down. I've done a video on this Jeep before. This was going to be my everyday driver, bug out vehicle, off-road vehicle, fun vehicle, all-purpose vehicle. But now, this 01 Cherokee is going to be my everyday vehicle. 97 Cherokee Country 4-wheel drive, no title. Runs, drives. 01 Jeep Cherokee Sport, 2-wheel drive, title. No engine. Had a transmission though. Pulled that transmission out last night. So mainly this one has a title. I'm going to use it. This one is in way better shape. The engine was already out of it when I bought it. This thing has been taken care of. I bought it from a lady over in Tennessee. Well taken care of Jeep. Not a spot of rust. There's one dent on the side. I can fix that, no big deal. There's not a spot of rust anywhere on this Jeep. Interior, I mean, the interior looks almost new. I mean, it needs to be cleaned, obviously. There's all my spare parts there. But the interior looks new. And by the way, I've got like 4 intakes, 3-4 intakes, intake manifolds. That's the newer style intake manifold. That intake manifold is going on the engine that I'm about to put in this Jeep because that's a more efficient intake than the pre-98s or 99s, whatever year they changed those. This one is not near as efficient as the other one. Also, the injector plugs are different from 97 to 01. So the newer plugs, I think, have better flow. Different plugs, or the injectors. So going to just completely swap that out for the newer style. Probably going to use the exhaust manifold off of that Jeep as well that I have because it's in better shape. Before I put this all back together, I'm going to get some exhaust wrap and I'm going to wrap the exhaust manifold, try to cut down some heat in that engine bay. So as you can see here, that's supposed to have a bushing in there. It's gone. That one's all right, but those on that Jeep are good. I'll be back. So I guess I'm going to upload one long video on the progress of the Jeeps since I haven't uploaded any. So you will recognize this Jeep here. This was my bug out Jeep. It's been stripped all the way down. Engine's been pulled and all that good stuff. There's the engine and tranny. 4.0 inline 6. There's the transfer case. I'm about to clean all that up today, being Sunday. I'm going to clean all that up and then we're going to drop it into the new bug out Jeep. This is an 01 body, not a spot of rust on it, 2-wheel drive. So I got to swap out the axles and the drivetrain. I'm going to clean up under here some today. Going to clean up the engine, transmission, transfer case. That's the 2-wheel drive transmission I took out of it. But today the goal is cleaning this up. I'm getting all the grime and oil and dirt off of it, as well as the transfer case. And then Monday, it's going to be pulling the axles out of this and putting that in the other Jeep. So I'll try to do some time-lapse stuff at some point. We'll be back. Getting ready to put the engine into the 01. So let me see if I can find a spot to set my phone to where you can see everything. Bear with me. There we go. All right, hopefully I don't get in the way, but we're gonna put this engine in now. Yes, I have my hair in a, I've got hair pulled back. Anyway, the old man helped me pull this engine out last night out of the flat Jeep. I cleaned up on it a little bit. I'm not gonna do anything too crazy. I was gonna clean it up, make it showroom quality, and the old man brought it to my attention that it's gonna be an everyday driver and it's gonna be out in the mud whenever I go trapping. So we're going to drop it in as is and then pressure wash it later this week. Make sure I get this sucker tightened down. I've got various parts. I think the alternator that was on here was bad, and I know the power steering pump was bad, and it didn't have an AC compressor hooked up. So I've got that stuff off that was off of this green Jeep that's going to go on here. I've got a good alternator that I bought from a buddy of mine that got rid of his Jeep, still had some parts. I ended up getting a bunch of engine parts for about 30 bucks from him. I think I got 2 or 3 intake manifolds, a couple throttle bodies, a good alternator that he had tested the week before I got it. And there's various other parts, I think a water pump, different stuff. But anyway, I really should have some help doing this, but I think I can get it on my own. See, I think y'all moved on me. I'm gonna do my best to stay out of the way. There we go. Move these keys here. Yeah, I should probably really have help doing this. But I don't, so just gonna do it better. I've got new valve cover, the valve cover gasket's leaking on this one. So I got a new valve cover gasket. I went ahead and got a new intake manifold gasket and exhaust manifold gasket, which is the same gasket. But I went ahead and just got a new one so I didn't have to mess with it later. I'm gonna get new plugs and wires tomorrow. Just again, so I ain't gotta mess with it later. I'm doing quite a bit of stuff that doesn't need to be done necessarily. But I'm going to do it just for the sake of not having to do it later on. Much to the old man's dismay. I did have to unhook the transfer case off of here. If any of you are looking at Jeeps and looking at doing something like this, you have to unbolt the transfer case from the transmission to get the engine transmission out. Or you can unbolt the engine from the transmission, however you want to do it. I found it's easier to drop the transmission transfer case and unbolt the transfer case from the transmission. I'm going to get this up here pretty high to clear my bumper, but that's alright. Pretty hefty cherry picker. Check my chain. Excuse me. Yeah, we're good. We're about maxed out there, so. best spot. Lowering it down a little bit. I'm looking at the transfer case fluid again, but that's all right, we'll clean it up. We're going out slow and easy. I'm not in any hurry here. I do not want to mess anything up, for sure. Make sure I'm going to clear my tunnel and go in a little further. Lock it back down. Uh-oh. That's not good. Well, we're going to go with it. I accidentally got the wheel of the cherry picker off in this grate here, which is not where I wanted it to be. But now, there's so much weight on it, there's not much I can do. Back down. When you're doing this by yourself, it's kind of a, you gotta muscle it in there and adjust and move, adjust. Just to get everything clear. And make sure you're not messing anything up. Right now we're looking good. Go down a little further. Down some more. Cherry picker's got this engine at kind of a weird angle. There we go. Alright, we're on something. And what you're hearing is this covering for the wires is what you're hearing cracking and popping. I know I'm probably in the way, I'm sorry. It's the only option I got here. There we go, we cleared it. Just some more. to raise it back up. One thing that's going to help is if I get a floor jack and put it in that transmission and lift the transmission up. Pardon me. What I got going on is that the transmission and engine are at such an angle, I'm having trouble clearing the motor mounts without hitting the firewall, which is not a hard fix. It's just getting the floor jack under the transmission, lift it up on the transmission a little bit, get some of this oil dry. Drop some of that oil under there, so I'm not getting it everywhere. I'm sure there's people out there that know better and faster ways to do this than me. But I do it the way I know to do it. It would really help if I had another set of hands here, but we'll get it. Just a matter of doing it. Back down, we're just about there, folks. We're just about there. Something moved in a way that I needed it to move. Yeah. Back down. It can be a slow, laborious process, but once it gets in there, it's in there. Grab a tool here. Sorry guys, I know this isn't the best angle. There, see if I can brighten that up a little bit. I know it's not the best angle, folks, but Here we are. Lift on my tranny a little bit more. Make sure I ain't got my transmission in the bind or pushed up against anything. Transmission is just about where it needs to be. Engine's looking more level. Awesome. So now it's just a matter of getting everything lined back up. What we may have to do, we got no oil, so I was trying not to do. What we may have to do is get one motor mount in, and then one bolt in one motor mount, then lower it down so we can get the other bolt in. That's we're by ourselves. Alright folks, I'm going to work on it some more and I will be back shortly. I'm going to get a tripod maybe here in a minute so I can get you up a little bit closer. We'll be back. How's it going everyone? I'm back. Status update on the Jeep XJ bug out Jeep everyday driver. Got some of my parts back there. We've pulled the interior out so that we can, this was a two-wheel drive, remember, and then we now have the four-wheel drive transfer case shifter hooked up. So I'm about to put the carpet back in, put the seats back in, and all that. But we have power. We have lights. It's running rough, but it's running. By the way, that's just running straight up header or exhaust manifold. There's no pipe on there, no muffler. So I got to put the exhaust pipe back on in a minute. But here we are. I'll be back. Just going to do a quick sneak preview. The Jeep is done and it runs. I just got done fixing the bumper covers, making them black again. Just pulled the side trim off. Gonna clean that up. Got the roof rack on, got the light bar on, got the headliner out, replacing the headliner. Got new tailgate struts coming. Got my box in here, spare tire. That's the donut. I'm keeping it right now until I get the full-size spare. Toolbox is in here, the box is in here. This is not going to be in here because I can't open it up, but I can't fit my 311050 in here anyway. Tools, jumper cables. Open this up real quick. I just got done going through here. Got a flashlight. I'll do an in-depth review of this later. What all's in here. Got it built and I got hit. Somebody sideswiped me. Insurance taking care of it though, so that's not a big deal. Yeah, that's about it. She's almost done. I'm waiting on my lift and tires and headliner fabric. 2001 XJ. Alright, so I haven't done many update videos on this Jeep. I'm still editing the video about this Jeep, but we'll add this one in here. I'm done for now with the bug out Jeep slash everyday driver Jeep, whatever you want to call it. This is a 2001 Jeep Cherokee XJ Sport. Right there's where I got hit. Right after I got it built. It's not too bad though. 4.5 inch rough country lift with 2-inch spacers to level it. Green roof rack, light bar, 31 1050 Kenda Klever tires on it with stock rims. There is the spacer that I did to level it. Got the quick detach sway bar links, new track bar, new pinion arm, new shocks, new brake lines, new leaf pack. Again, shocks and brake lines in the back. On here. Black and tan interior. I need to clean it up again. I cleaned it up right whenever I got done. I've currently got the headliner out because it was falling. And there is my headliner fabric that just came in. So that will go up here. I did the desert digital so it would match the interior, but it wasn't just tan. I need to clean this thing out. Come on, Ice! There's my new dog. Ice! We're still working on getting him trained. But anyway. Yeah, he was, buddy.
Where was he?
He's over at the neighbors. The damage from getting hit made me sick when it happened, but all in all, it wasn't too bad. A few little ripples in the door, some scuffs, all that good stuff, but windows were already tinted when I got it. So to go through what I did, you'll notice the black Jeep is gone. Don't look at my carport. It's parts for the Jeeps. This did not have an engine in it. This was a 2-wheel drive when I got it. So I pulled the 2-wheel drive transmission out, pulled the 2-wheel drive solid front axle out, and removed the entire drivetrain from the 97 Jeep, the black Jeep, and put the front axle and drivetrain in this Jeep in about 7 days. Another 2 or 3 days of buttoning things up, troubleshooting some problems, and here we are. About 2 days to put the lift on, and another day to get the tires in alignment. But we're driving. We're running and driving. I got rid of the Sorento, the Kia. As you can see, it's nowhere to be found. And so this is, I do have another Jeep. I traded the Sorento for a Jeep Grand Cherokee. But this is my everyday driver now. Just to go through I didn't video anything whenever I was working on this because it just would have taken longer. I had some kids helping me and I didn't want to film them. Go and lift this hood up. So I had an issue with the transmission not shifting correctly and kicking into neutral, and I took the shift solenoids out of, put it on the computer, it said shift solenoids, so I took the solenoids out of the 2-wheel drive transmission and put it in here, and that didn't fix the problem. So I consulted with the all-knowing YouTube and found a video from Bleepin' Jeep about this throttle valve cable. I adjusted that and it took care of the problem. Also had some issues with my fuel rail, leaking fuel out of this front fuel injector. All new O-rings, fixed that. Took care of the oil leak around the valve cover gasket, or valve cover. I put a gasket on there. Took care of the water leak around the thermostat housing, put a gasket on there. New gasket on the exhaust and intake manifold because I didn't want to take it all back off again later to do it. Had to swap the computer from the old Jeep into this one. Have not done plugs and wires yet, that's next. Did an oil change, flushed the oil system and changed the oil. Flushed the transmission system, took the pan off and cleaned the pan out real good. Cleaned the magnet off and put the magnet back in. Flushed the transmission and the transfer case. Put new fluid in both. And then, did I say oil? Or I did, yeah, I think I did. Flushed the oil system, flushed all the oil out, put oil in it. Charged the AC, works like a dream. Heat works. I flushed the radiator. Completely flushed the radiator system. And then I flushed the heater core as well. I figured if I was putting it back together, redo it. All new brake fluid all throughout the system. Flushed it out. Ended up having to bleed that brake system, or that brake master cylinder. I really should have done a video on that because I did not take it off to bleed it like most people do. It's called bench bleeding. I did not bench bleed it. I found a YouTube video of a guy showing how to do it without taking it off, and so that's what I did. But all new brake fluid, all new fluids throughout. Where'd that dog go? Ice, come on! I just heard him. But anyway, that's it. I am thinking about taking the Cherokee Sport off the side of the doors and taking the 4.0 Jeep off of the back. I don't care if you see my license plate like most people. So, things to come still. I am taking out the amber lenses there and there and replacing them with smoked black lenses. Putting black LED headlights in there. You're gonna have pod lights right there and right there. LED pod lights. Two LED pods on the side, on each side. And I'm gonna get a longer light bar to go across the windshield, and that light bar is going in the back. Winch bumper on the front we're gonna put on there. And then later I'm going to do a rear Smitty built bumper tire carrier to hold my full-size spare. That's just some things to come. I'm about to go up right now and work on the headliner. Get out of grass, boy. You got your good shoes on.
Sorry. Hey now.
Say hi. About to go work on the headliner right now. The bumpers are gonna be. What do you think of the Jeep, boy?
Like it.
You like the Jeep? You like it better than that Kia?
Yeah, I wish Papa could come over here and do this video.
Huh?
I wish Papa could come over here and look at this video.
Oh, you want Pops to come over here?
Yeah.
Jackson calls the old man Pop Pop. Well, Pop Pop's at work right now, buddy.
Well, sometimes you call him old man.
But hey, you want to show YouTube how you climb into the Jeep now that it's lifted? If any of you lift a Jeep Cherokee and want to know how to let your kid get in there, let me unlock it. I taught Jackson how to climb in here. Go ahead, open it up. Hold on, open the door all the way. There you go. There you go. What do you think? It's tall, isn't it?
And so that the wheel is really big.
Yep, the tires are big, and then Daddy put the lift on there. I think I ended up with like 6.5 inches of lift on this thing.
Well, that's refreshing.
But he likes jumping in and out of it. You like the Jeep?
Yeah.
You glad we got it?
Yeah.
I put a lot of hard work into this thing to get it done as quickly as I got it done. A lot of late nights, and the missus was not happy about it.
I want to show them the other side
What?
of the.
Well, we've already looked at the other side.
No, I mean that girl that you hit.
No, I didn't hit her. She hit me.
Yeah, but I want you to show them right there.
Well, you show them. Right there, yeah. And where else?
That was it. It's just
No, it wasn't just that. They down here, down there.
and and the scratch.
No, that scratch wasn't there. All this down here.
Yeah.
Yeah. She hit me though, buddy. Get that right. Anyway, gonna do smoke tail light lenses, smoke third brake light lens, and
that's where he put his fishing poles.
yeah, that's where we put the fishing poles.
Yeah, but some of the there's more fishing poles right over there.
Yeah, Daddy's got all his fishing stuff out, don't he? Anyway, gonna do the headlights will be the next thing I do, because those sealed beam headlights are worthless.
I like those headlights.
And yeah, Jackson likes the big bright light bar, don't you, buddy? Later on, when these tires wear out, I will do 33 1250s on it, like on the old man's Jeep.
Yeah, but let me tell you something.
What?
If you open this door, everybody, and then if you touch this,
Don't put your foot on that.
Out.
Yeah, don't put your foot on that.
If you put up here,
Where do you put your foot
grab
at?
on this, and then boom.
Where do you put your foot
and
at?
then it'll go. You put
Show them how you climb into it.
You can put either one, and then boom. Even though you just grab right here and grab up here.
Yeah.
Let me show you something.
And then you just jump
you
out.
grab right here, then you grab this top thing. You lift your leg up right here. Grab this. Then you put your other arm right here. Put your other arm right here on this chair, and then you just lift it in here.
There we go. We had to figure out how to climb into it, so when Daddy picks you up from school, you can get in,
I
huh?
forgot to tell you that.
Yeah, you forgot to tell me?
Yeah. No, I forgot to tell them.
Oh, okay.
Not you. I forgot to tell them.
Oh, okay. Well, can Daddy finish my video now?
Yeah.
All right, so inside here, everything in here is stock except for this bezel. I don't know if you can see that real well, but that is the wood grain bezel that I took out of the 97. Also down here, the 3-button has got the fog lights that aren't original to this Jeep, or I'm sorry, the heated side mirrors, which aren't original to this Jeep. I took those off the 97. And this gauge cluster is original, but I put in the blue LEDs.
That's why I wanted to look blue.
But I'm gonna put the green ones in there at some point, aren't I?
Yeah, I want to leave the blue ones in there.
You wanna leave the blue ones?
Yeah, because I like them in there because it looks good.
Yeah. Hey, why don't you go see if you can find Ice?
All right.
Ice ran off. There he is. Go get Ice.
Come here, Ice.
This is our new dog. This is Ice.
He's so wild.
Come here. Come here. Sit. Sit.
Everybody, this is a wild dog.
Sit. Ice. Ice, come.
He doesn't listen very much, y'all.
He's a puppy. Come here, Ice. Ice. Come here, Ice. Go get him. Anyway, this is going to be a long, drawn-out video clip here. Come on, Ice. Come here. Come here. Come. Come. Sit. Sit. You're wet. Sit. Ice is a stray that we've took in. He is part Weimaraner, part yellow lab.
I hope everybody...
And he is stinking right now.
I heard.
But he is about 8 months old.
I hope everybody hears us.
Who named him Ice?
Me, my dad.
No, you did. Come here, Ice. Come here. Come on. We're working on training. Ice, come.
It's gonna take a
Go
long
get him.
time.
Go get him. Come on, Ice.
Everybody, last time that we trained him, he didn't listen, but now when we train him,
Go get him. Quit talking and go get him.
come on, Ice. Let's go.
Ice likes to run and play. He's 8 months old. He's already bigger than Bo. Grab his collar and bring him on. Come on, Ice. He's going to drag you across the yard. Come on, Ice.
All right, Daddy.
Anyway, Ice has got ice blue eyes, and Jackson and his meemaw named him Ice.
Yeah, because he has blue eyes.
So
and
then
he
we
has
had to
a blue
keep him.
collar.
So then we had to keep him, right?
Yeah, we have to keep him, but he's gonna take a long time when we get trained him.
Yeah.
And last time, when we get Bo, it was hard to get him trained, but now the last time when we trained him, he listens. But
Well, we will be back as soon as I get the headliner put in, which I'm about to take Ice in, put him in his kennel, and then we're gonna go work on the headliner.
But the last time, in the middle
Quit moving.
part, when we tried to tell Bo to sit, he didn't listen. But now when he did, he sit down. But now when I'm 6, he listens all the time. But now after he listens, where'd he go?
I don't know. You're supposed to be watching him.
And by the way, Ice doesn't
My
listen.
oldest likes to talk like I do. Go get him. He's in the backyard. Go.
Ow.
My oldest likes to talk like I do. He fell in love with that dog when he showed up, so Daddy had to go get him out of the pound when the dog catcher came and got him. Anyway, so let me know what you think of the Jeep. Here he comes. Whoa!
Last time the first time that I scared him, he was running real fast. Oh!
Go get him.
He came out of nowhere.
Go on the road, go on the road, go on the road, go on the road. Get out of the front yard. Anyway, if you got any questions or comments or ideas on what I need to do to the Jeep, let me know. We are going to do a dual battery setup on here at some point and all that good stuff. But yeah, this started its life as a two-wheel drive Jeep Cherokee, and it is going to continue its life as a four-wheel drive. Thank you all for watching. I'll be back as soon as I get the headliner put in. Boot Heel Kid, and I'm working on the Jeep again today. I'm getting ready to put a different hood on the Jeep. I just got done painting this hood flat black. Painted it last night. Rattle can. So this hood has a few holes in it, but my main thing is with my light bar up here. Okay, when I turn that on, it reflects off the hood. Something crazy. I mean, there's a lot of reflection off here, and it kind of impedes my vision a little bit with this shiny hood. If I didn't wax it, it probably wouldn't be as bad. But rather than painting this hood, I took the hood off my other Jeep, painted it flat black, and I'm going to replace it. But I got to looking on YouTube. There's not, and also it's going to match the front grille that I painted flat black. Anyway. This is off the other Jeep too. I kept the green grill. Don't think I painted that. But anyway, I can't find any videos on YouTube of how to get this cable off, this release. So I thought I'd make one. Let's see if I can, I don't know how I'm gonna do this. I don't really have a good place to put a tripod either. So basically, this wire here goes into this clip and that clip, which I've already pulled off. Let me see if I can, I don't know if I'll be able to get a good view on it or not. Let's see. Yeah, it's not working. So right here you've got a little piece that is plastic that is held into here that needs to go up towards the hood to pop this out, and then this swivels around and the pin comes out. Let me see if I can get that out of there. This right here is by far the hardest part to get off of this whole situation. Got to be careful. I've still got to pull the stitches out of my hand this afternoon. Damn. I've done this on like 3 different Jeeps, and it is never any easier to do it. There's never been one that just popped right out, which I guess is good. That means it's not going to pop out on you driving down the road. What I'm going to do is I'm going to bend this down just a little bit, not much, because I don't want to tear it up. This is a good hood. I'm keeping this hood. I'm going to buff it down and put it in storage so I can put it back on later. The black hood is not going to be a permanent fixture on this Jeep. But getting this one off will allow me to work on it as I get time and buff it out and make it look good. Come on. Alright, I'm going to get a tool. Phillips. We're going to see if we can't get it out now. I'm going to gently pry on this. Gently, gently, gently. There we go. Now let me pick this up. Alright. So you see this has got a little slot on it. Let's see if I can steady this here. Alright, you can see this has got a slot and it slides down in there. And then right up here, if you've ever worked on a motorcycle, it's the same way as a motorcycle clutch cable. That pops through that hole and swivels around. So, that cable's off. Now all I have to do is take out these 4 bolts here, and or 2 bolts there and 2 bolts on the other side, and my hood will come off. You can see right there where my hoses are rubbing on the hood. I don't like that anyway. So here's another thing that I didn't get to talk about. My pipe that comes out of my water pump goes back and hooks up to a hose to go to my heater core. The threads, it sheared the threads off and popped out and started leaking. So I went to the auto parts store and I ended up getting 5 couplings, because to get the stock part on there you have to pull that water pump off. So I got 5 couplings and used gasket maker and sealed it all up, and then got a longer hose to run back there. It's been working just fine. I'm going to reroute this hose in a minute. I don't like where it's sitting right there. It's kind of getting kinked a little bit right here. So I'm going to reroute that hose in a minute. But if you have a Jeep Cherokee with a 4.0 and that pipe comes off, go to the excuse me, I'm eating a Jolly Rancher. But go to the auto parts store. They've got couplings with the nipple that you need for the hose, for the right size hose, and then you just got to get like 4 or 5 more adapters to adapt it down to go into your water pump. They've got the parts at the auto parts store, and it'll work just fine for you. It's been working just fine for me. I was not about to pull this whole water pump off to put that one thing on there. So I think this is a better solution and a more permanent solution. We'll see as time goes by. Also, some other things I've done. I have spliced into the factory harness here for my fan override and my high idle. So what that does, let's just go in here to the Jeep real quick. What I've done is I've put me 4 switches down here. This is for the light bar. This is for my fan override, for my high idle, and this one is going to be for the rear lights that I'm going to put on there probably this afternoon. But I just put these toggle switches in here. This is the fan override, so when I kick that on while the Jeep's running, it'll override the fan control and kick the fan on. And when you kick that on while it's in neutral or park, it'll idle at 1,000 RPM instead of 700. I'm not going to start that up in the shop. I'll show that in a later video. And I'm also not going to do a how-to on it because I've already taped it up. But basically there's 3 or 4 how-tos on how to do this on YouTube. I'll link one in the description. But a lot of them go down here, pull this off, pull the back off, and go into the wire right there. I liked going back here and actually cutting into the wire and splicing it in. Then I'm not having any issues down here with it wiggling and pulling or anything like that. That's just a preference thing. That's just what I wanted to do, so that's what I did. Anyway, I have debadged the Jeep. There's no more Cherokee Sport on the side. There's no more 4.0 liter or Jeep on the back. I like that look a lot better than those silver letters. I did leave the Jeep on the front, but I painted it black to match the front grille and what's about to be the hood. So, we'll be back.